Hey everyone, welcome back to sunny Florida where there is no snow on the ground. Oh wait, we did have snow this weekend, weirdly enough. But welcome back, Maddox. Welcome back to Florida. I'm glad to have
Good.
you here. We're going to talk all things Toronto this episode. We're going to give our recap of what did well this weekend, what didn't do well, some surprises that happened. We'll of course have some thought-provoking questions, right? I have a scenario that popped up on stream. I watched the stream really closely. Maddox at the tournament, Parker was working, so neither of them really saw it well, and I'm going to bring it to them and ask their expert opinion on what would have happened in this scenario if the game finished. And then we'll have our trivia section where I'll try to stump the boys again this week with some limitless TCG trivia. Always, that's kind of where it is. It's usually either limitless TCG or it's how many cards are in a set, right? Like there's no. Anyways,
This guy.
and then we'll wrap it up by talking about some of our spicier lists that we found while scouring the list that just got published, and we'll finish up with everyone's favorite segment, Crispin'S Corner. Stay tuned to the end, and maybe your deck got shown, even if you didn't make day two. So stay tuned to the end, boys. Maddox, how was your travel? Sounds like you had some fun travel plans.
Yeah, I mean, Toronto was exciting. I mean, good to get back to regionals. And kind of weird with like such a long break in between majors, but like great to be back at the first one of 2026. Again, my travel plans got derailed a little bit, like many others. My flight was canceled from my connection to Toronto because of the blizzards and the home field advantage that Canada was looking for. Of course, I ended up with an all Latin American finals, so it didn't matter the home field advantage. But shout out Jack Long.
Only one Canadian in top cut.
Yeah, but shout out Jack Long for that finish. But I will talk more about that in a second. But basically, my flight got diverted to Buffalo, so I had to fly into Buffalo, and then was able to get a ride with a friend, fortunately, from Buffalo to Toronto on Friday. So like delayed, but you couldn't count me out because I was really excited to play this Goldango deck that we had been kind of working on. Basically, Josh Fring kind of came up with the idea, had been talking about this kind of back in December, but the idea was basically kind of an anti-Donzard package in Goldango. But that also just gave the decks like some more counterplay. So with that, it was Iono, Watchtower, Countercatcher was kind of the main like three cards of the combo that we stuck with, and Secret Box to help enable that. So I played Iono in Goldango in Milwaukee back, when my Goldango Dragapult, I played an Iono at Worlds and when no one else did. So Iono in Goldango was very excited about Secret Box to be able to find it a little better. So I was very happy about that. And yeah, I mean, pulled up to Toronto with Goldango and got 178th place. So, left a little more on the table, but, still solid top 8-9% that, in the grand scheme of things is, good. And I got a good warm up for me heading to Mexico this weekend for the regional.
I'm taking credit for you making day two, by the way. Because if it wasn't for me telling you to
You're taking credit.
Up and play faster, you might have had like 4 more ties.
Yeah, in class, I mean, it's kind of funny. Like my tournament runs have varied. I kind of thought like, I don't know, it was tricky. So I made phase 2 at 5-1-2, which is, a little on the trickier side. And the real tough part about my run is that I started 1-1-2.
Yeah.
So after round 3, I was 1-0-2. I had a board state against like Jelly Guardy round 2 that we couldn't conclude. Very, very end of, round game 3 against Dragapult Dusknoir where I was in a clear position to win. But, we didn't finish in time, so it was a tie, and then lost a mirror round 4. So from there, kind of down on myself and really saying like, okay, I need to like, focus. And I think even like, and actually it's kind of funny, the next 2 rounds, I kind of played against a couple Guardies, and it was kind of one of those where like, I was kind of going through the motions, and I felt like, I don't know if I was playing my best. I felt like I was maybe playing a little bit like on tilt or like a little bit just like not as focused, but was still kind of winning games. So then I was just trying to, but I knew I had a lot more to do that day, right? Besides just win 2 to get to phase 2, but like I had plans to go farther than that as well. So, shout out to some of the folks in group chats, kind of just giving me some support, asking like, hey, what are some tactics to just kind of help center? So I literally just probably after like half of day 1 into day 2, in between every round at some point, I just kind of found like a spot, even just on the floor, and just kind of like both my feet grounded, just on the floor, sitting on the floor too, and just like breathing, just thinking, hey, one game at a time. Really, I think for rounds 5 through 14, I really just focused on saying, hey, I against any person in this room, I'm probably favored to win a best of 3. So let me just go win this next best of 3. And I think that kind of helped my mindset a little bit and focusing up. And ultimately, I mean, I went on a nice little run there, won 4 in a row to make it to phase 2. And then won my last game of the day on Saturday to end up 6-1-2, so still in contention for top cut, still feeling pretty good. And then, start off with a win on day 2 against Emil, super cool opponent. We're kind of playing fast, getting to a game 3, and I feel bad for Emil. I was kind of excited to see this game play out, but he just had like such a poor opening hand. It's just like, turn 2, and I'm fully set up. I taken a KO, and he's just got nothing, and he just like, hey, you got it, man. So, shout out to Emil for being a cool opponent there. Yeah, still in contention at this point. I hit Felix Wong, who, great Canadian player, also tends to always tear up these tournaments. And actually, it's kind of funny. I mean, I played low punny in my list, which helped against Jelly Guardy, and I had a situation where I had everything set up to go Evo. I was going second in game 3 to go Evo into my low punny, and then I lunar cycle into the low punny, so I couldn't Evo for it. Got Iono'd, and then had to take the next turn to Evo. So then there was one of those situations where I was like, should I not have lunar cycled? And ultimately, I end up we get to a board state on Gentlemen's where I'm up 3-1. But, a board wipe is pretty imminent, and I'm very limited on outs that I could actually realistically draw to get around the Jealous Unlock. So end up conceding to Felix on Gentlemen's there. But it's one of those things where I was like, if I was one turn ahead, or, should I have not gone for the lunar cycle, even though it's low odds to draw into the low punny, like, is my win percentage that much lower by getting the extra, if I draw into the low punny, that it was like better win percentage to not draw? Like, I don't know. It seemed kind of like a low odds moment, but was kind of something I'm curious about, and still kind of like working through in my head of like what the correct play was. So, but lose to Felix, I'm still in contention for cash. And then, and Felix is saying, hey, and one of Felix's friends was like, hey, good on you, man. And I think Felix or one of his friends just basically said, hey, hope this is good karma for you for, the rest of your run. So I pair into this nice guy, Willem, playing Donzard. I have a completely dead opening hand. He just went, fan wrote him for all the pieces, has a Terra down. I have one supporter in hand, which is Turo, so I played it to go to game 2. And my opening hand, turn 2, is also just unplayable, like Soul Rock, Lunatone. Sorry, not Soul Rock, like Open Fez, pass, attach pass. He starts to set up, so I'm like, okay, I need to get something else down. So then play the Gong, just get something else down. And then he takes 2 turns to just board wipes me with Dusknor and so takes me out of cash contention, unfortunately. And then close out there with a win against a Donzard. I am a countercatcher Watchtower.
You did not get the good karma, sadly.
I did not get the good karma. Hopefully it's delayed for this weekend in Merida.
Maybe it's delayed for this weekend in Merida, yeah. Sure.
Exactly. So I'm able to beat a Donzard. And then my last round, I'm like, okay, let me try to win this, get a good 128. I had like a super dedicated like Crustal deck that is that like, and like, they played all the Lux Capes, they played all the healings, so they had all the spice. So
what's their name? I want to see this list.
Medi, this was Medi, MEHDI.
MEH.
So just use the search functions, man. We can't just scroll. But basically the whole.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. No, Medi, super cool version from France. Came all the way out here, 75th place. He basically went and said, "Hey, I thought of this deck, and my testing will be the tournament." But his thought was, Crustal's very good. A lot of decks, will cheese prizes against Crustal by being able to go on Boston Monkey Dories with the support. So he's played a dedicated Crustal deck with the Luxurious Cape, with all these healing cards, 4 Ice Cream, the Pokevitalate, Medical Energy, all this stuff to just, really aggressively heal the Crustal. I played the Iono, so we talked about it later. I think I'm a little favored if I play it properly with the Iono. Sorry. He says it's normally an 80-20, he's favored. With my Iono, it's maybe like a 60-40. He's still favored if I used Iono correctly. I used it a little bit too late, actually, in our game, and he was able to get a boss to close out the game, but I think kind of maybe gotten the game if I had played that a little better, but tricky time in the matchup. But anyways, overall, I mean, very happy with the run, very happy with the deck. Shout out to Josh Frink for building the list. I mean, it's a good list. I can see myself playing it to Merida this weekend. We might try to make a tweak or two, but ultimately, like, I'm feeling good. It was good to get back into phase 2, get some of the gears going. First time since Worlds this past summer. For sure. And really just excited to go and play some more in Merida. Excited to make it rain or make it snow, like my Twitter
picture
post
was too super unhinged, by the way. I really hope my cards are not wet.
Well, since they were all in FCBC armor sleeves, they are in fantastic condition.
Oh, you're right.
So no, literally. I mean, go check my Twitter at Maddox TCG if you want to see it. But I put my deck list in the snow on outside the convention center. Just dug each of the cards in the ice. And literally, like right after that, like all the sleeves were like covered in ice. So just like took out all the cards, like tossed the sleeves. So I'm like, I got fresh ones for this next week. Anyways, it's all good.
All right, so this
but
week
yeah, I mean, honestly,
we got to put it on the beach, right? On this coming week, it's got to be on the
if I
beach.
can get close enough to a beach in Merida's kind of far from the beach. Like, it is Mexico, but it's like an hour from the nearest beach. It's probably not going to happen on the beach, but maybe for Puerto Rico, if I'm still playing Goldango, we can make it beach. I don't know, whatever one would say. So
Make it swim.
but yeah, make it swim, something like that. Yeah. But anyways, I mean, Toronto was a lot of fun. Always good to see.
Yeah,
make it splash. There we go. Anyways, yeah, Toronto was a lot of fun. I was like going there. Wish it wasn't so cold, but good to kind of chill to play in the tournament. Had some good meals. Got to there was a little FCBC ambassador sponsor mixer. Went to Saturday night after day one, so hung out there for a little bit with some folks there. Got to meet plenty of the other Twitter folks, so always is good to meet. Put a face to the Twitter account type of thing. And then hung out there for a little bit, but then just kind of wrapped it up to go get some rest, go tackle day 2.
How's the travel back? Any issues coming back or no?
Travel back's pretty smooth. Played some Go Fish with some friends in the airport lobby. Pokemon Go Fish, of course. DM me if you want questions about the rules of how that's
we haven't played this. What the heck, bro?
Oh well, so Go Fish. So you play. It's like normal Go Fish.
How come we haven't played Pokemon Go Fish? You're holding out on me, bro.
Well, I just don't have the cards built. But if anyone doesn't know Go Fish, how it works is basically you're playing normal Go Fish, right? Where you're trying to match and ask for cards. But the cards are cards in in the Pokemon card pool that you can either ask ask one of the people there, hey, do you have this card? Or you can play the card for a sec. So for example, you could go and play Acrobike, and in the top of the draw pile, you can look at the top 2 cards, keep one of them, and then put the other one at the bottom of the deck. Normally discard it, but goes back to the bottom of the deck. And the Acrobike also gets played and goes to the bottom of the deck.
Oh my god. Okay.
So if you're able to, if you match and if you get a pair, of course you can put them down, but then also certain things you can, if you have a pair of them, then you can use them. So there was a stadium, it's called Scorched Earth. If you have a fire or fighting, you can discard it and draw 2 cards. So if you have a pair of Scorched Earth, that stadium is now in play. And now if you have a fire or fighting energy in your hand,
I'm really upset that we haven't played this and you haven't built this yet. So I'm gonna need you to get on top of that.
I literally played it Sunday. What did you want me to do further with? I played it yesterday. We're recording today. The episode's out Thursday.
I wanted to play it like before we recorded today, but you didn't tell me about it. I'm just kidding.
Ladies.
Yeah. Toronto was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Always good to be there. And excited for more Pokemon this weekend.
All right. Parker, I know you worked a lot. What did you up to this weekend? Catch any action? What was some of your highlights?
The only highlight of my weekend was I watched Tangled for the first time Sunday night.
The movie?
Yo.
Yeah.
I mean, a good movie. Good movie.
Actually, no. Yeah, very good movie.
Solid movie.
But, I was just slammed at work. I had no
you got
free
time to watch Tangled, but you can't watch Pokemon?
It was at like 9 o'clock after I was off work.
Life.
Was the stream on at 9 p.m.? No.
Were there any blondes on stream though? Like I'm not sure.
I mean, on day one, no. Anyways.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Moving on. My weekend was pretty good. I watched a lot of the tournament. I was, kind of sad I wasn't there, but I was feeling FOMO for sure. Following along, like Jesse Parker's tweeting about playing Miraidon. I'm like, damn, that could have been me. I could have been there. My list is definitely better. No bias.
Doesn't know. Eric says Jesse Parker's list is bad because Eric hates the card Carmine in the standard format. Terrible. As a reminder,
he played 4 of them. Anyways, but he had a good finish. Shout out Jesse. So lost his win it on stream. I think a slight misplay. I haven't rewatched his match closely, but there was a situation where he could have put down Zekrom and didn't. And it ended up costing the game.
I think he already tweeted that he played terribly on stream.
Yeah. So I didn't fully watch it, but so I did that. I was following with Maddox, making sure he wasn't slow playing anymore, and moving on. So let's talk about you don't care about what I did this weekend because I didn't really do anything. Let's talk about what did do well this weekend. I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing my screen for those of you following along on YouTube or Spotify. You can watch our screen and what we're following along with. This is Limitless Labs talking about all of the deck lists they got published today. We got Max already referenced it, all Latin American finals up in Europe, even though the travel was hectic for everyone getting in. So the Canadians' plan to spoil everyone else from doing well in Toronto was spoiled themselves. by Giovanni Sasso, taking down with Gardevoir Jellicent. And then in second place, Andres Raging Bolt. That's right, guys. Make sure to rewind. We did say that right. We didn't misspeak. Raging Bolt made finals. All you have to do if you want to do well with your pet deck is tell us here at the Beach Court Podcast. We'll put it in the D tier.
In D tier.
And then you will make finals. Guaranteed.
Yeah,
We're 2 for 2 on this. So
I'm calling it the Beach Court Blessing.
the Beach Court Bless.
Every time
make the call out. Yeah. Go ahead.
Every time we make a tier list and put Raging Bolt in the bottom, it makes the finals of the event somehow.
Yeah.
Mark,
Shout out to Christian
Gold
Labella
Dingo in
winning
D tier?
back in. I mean, listen, that would be unfair to our viewers, and also Goldango can make finals without it, in my humble opinion. But yeah, Giovanni Sasso with, again, we saw his dominant performance all last year, his first season Masters, second year Masters, coming all the way up to North America and winning a massive regional, the first regional 2026, with Gardevoir Jelly with a few different pieces. The big, really kind of standard Gardevoir Jelly. There's been a lot of buzz about the Henry Chow Guardy going back like a turbo build, but Giovanni really sticking with the Jelly Guardy 2-1 Jellicent line, of course. And the Team Rocket's Watchtower being a little bit of the inclusion, helping into the Dawn Zard matchup or into other, colorless abilities.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, really this list is it's definitely greedy, right? We're talking about, Parker mentioned some greed earlier. Like, this list is very greedy. Only 2 Ralts, 1 Kirlia, no evolution. You're really dependent upon, like, when you get a dude with this deck, man, like, you're really living on, like, okay, what am I doing? I got to Frillish back, and pray, like, because you ain't got anything. Does have 3 Nest Ball, which is, like, I think, a little bit of a standout, right? Some players are playing just 1, and he opted for 3. So I like some of the consistency pieces in here, but this list is definitely scary. And when we look at Henry's, you'll see how streamlined Henry's list is. Because when I looked at Henry's list, I was like, what the heck is missing from Henry's list? Where's all the attackers, bro?
Yeah,
this guy's got Giovanni was like, I want all the attackers except for Drifloon because Maddox's prediction is terrible, and I'm going to throw it out the window. That's essentially what Giovanni did this weekend.
Yeah.
There were some good Drifloon Jelly finishes, though.
Yeah, but they weren't winners.
They didn't win, and that's fine. That's fine. All respect to them. But yeah, the three Candy kind of coming back into Jellicent Guardy. I mean, it's been the choice for a while without the Evo. Again, but shout out to Giovanni for making a good run with it. Yeah, I mean, I don't say pretty standard list of the Devo back in. A lot that Giovanni can do with it. And ultimately fought to the top of a lot of Dragapult Dusknoirs that made cut despite
5.
Everyone saying maybe the deck's not good anymore.
Yeah, 5 Dragapult Dusknoirs made top 12. I think something to stand out here is there's no Charizard, and it did seem to me a little bit that like Dragapult feasted on Charizard this weekend. They really said, "Hey, like get back in your lane, bro. Like you won a regional, congratulations, but Dragapult's here." And I watched a lot of the stream. Dragapult Dusknoir kind of like bullied some Gardevoirs. I mean, Karis like took down Henry Chow and top, in ASEM or whatever it was, and
that was Katie Montgomery versus Henry Chow.
Oh, that was Katie. You're right.
Versus Henry Chow, the stream-based game.
And I don't know, man. Like, I've been seeing some Gardevoirs kind of losing to some Dragapults lately, and I'm starting to wonder, like, is that matchup like the most 50-50 matchup in the ring, or is it favored one way or another? I don't know, but
in theory, I think the Dragapult decks are probably maybe slightly favored into like a Jelly Guardy in a sense, right? I mean, Jelly Guardy is really reliant on being able to set up their own Frillish to respond to a Badoo and get monkeys to go with that, because they are able to output more damage and deal with the Badoos more effectively than Dragapult can deal with the Frillish. So I think in that case, that's where some of the kind of battle back and forth goes. But there's definitely plenty of boards where just a Guardy Jelly without Evo can just get stuck under unlock without really being able to do anything.
Yeah, this definitely seemed like really, the weekend where Guardies were disrespecting, Dragapult. So, I mean, that Dragapult took advantage.
I mean, if we go down further, right, we saw the 2 Jelly Guardies in Brent Tonneson and Giovanni Sasso, but all the other Guardies really being this like heavier Evo build. through the Henry Chow list that saw a little bit more success. Or Henry Chow here with the 2 double Evo and just the 4 Lilies, 4 Iono, 2 Arvin to find it and help get set up. So
And the
lots
big
of ways
standout
to
here
get
to me
going.
was no Mega Diancie. It was a very interesting decision.
Ultimately,
go ahead. No, you're good.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, ultimately, the reason is the Luxurious Cape is kind of the choice that's being made here. Diancie can be a liability in a lot of cases. The Luxurious Cape does still give you that option to one shot. Throw a Pokemon in the active that can basically one shot anything. With the Screamtail with the Luxurious Cape, but also the Luxurious Cape gives you that flexibility. A couple backdoor win cons with the Luxurious Cape Frillish into Goldango. And also a little extra consistency boost. Playing that 8 Psychic Energy gives you a little bit more reach with energy and damage on the Screamtail to make use of that Luxcape.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Frillish Cape is a good strat for Goldango, probably. But anyways, let's move on. There is a couple other decks here in Top Cut that really just kind of stick out, Parker. Your boys are here. Have you taken a look at these lists yet?
I did. Yeah.
Which one do you like the best? We got Jordan here with, of course, we're talking about Grimmsnarl, Parker's favorite, and we got the Tatsugiri. We got the 3/3 Frostlass.
I don't know about favorite, but I think I saw this guy's list on Twitter. I think this is him. You got a deck list error because he meant to submit 4 stretchers. I think something like that. I don't know if it was him or the other Grim. I don't remember, but.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess there was supposed to put 4 stretchers, but I mean, I like the lists. 3/3 Frostlass. I mean, Frostlass is how you win against Goldango, basically.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
I said, I mean, before Air Balloon came out, I was almost this matchup's almost free, but since Air Balloon came out,
So I mean, does the Frostlass, with the inclusion, and I'm sure Maddox, I'll let you and Parker kind of talk for a second, right? With the inclusion of Solrock Lunatone, does the Frostlass really put in that much work anymore?
I mean, I think it does. You could just eventually kill Goldangos.
You can't go Badoo anymore, though, right? You can't just play Frostlass Badoo.
I mean, you can during the mid game, I think, for sure, but.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing with the Rocks package into Grimmsnarl is that you're able to have a little bit more aggressive early options. Again, there are a lot of Pokemon here that are 70 HP or less, those easy openers. You can stick a Solrock in the active and smack some of those. Again, if both of these lists in ASIM both opted for Badoo, strategy's gonna be a little less effective if you can just respond with the Solrock immediately. So it gives a couple easier answers. Now, again, you're still a lot of times you do want a Goldango, so you can get that 1 energy boss KO on a Frostlass type of thing. I think the bigger thing is just, since Grimmsnarl has been down in play a little bit, some of these lists from Goldangos aren't playing Picnic Basket anymore, which is kind of a big inclusion for a while that made this matchup really, really tough for Grimmsnarl. So having to rely just on a couple copies of Turo does make it a little bit trickier. Also, when you're mixing in those Turos for the healing, some Grimmsnarls still chose to play that Yveltal, so you have some Retreat Lock that can get mixed in there. So there's a couple different dynamics that go on there. I think ultimately, when you're able to do more and draw more with single prize draw engine without having to rely on Goldangos and using those air balloons, it does give you a little easier time, since not all their tricks are as effective, and you have a few ways to take some low commitment prizes. For example, you're not as reliant on having to discard energy every turn. And when there's some spots where you can just say it's not, because sometimes just boss KO a Snow Runt with a Solrock is enough.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I like the 3/3 Frostlass. That's that seems kind of newer. I wasn't aware of that technology.
Real quick, do you want to go back to Andres' list again, just to kind of call out the Raging Bolt list here? The main standout here is that this is kind of the popularized, Chilean Raging Bolt, which does play the Wellspring Ogerpon as kind of this water package. So a little more dimensionality to this Raging Bolt deck. And some cool inclusions here. This Anti-Shock's extra ways to build out energy. Of course, the Wellspring Ogerpon and 1 copy of Water Energy. I think just giving a little extra way to be able to go and power up, attacks. And really, the benefit of Raging Bolt is in a lot of matchups, they can go a single prize board, and you have to take a knockout with 2 prizer in a lot of cases if you still had your Terra down. Besides that, the Wellspring is, if you can initiate with a 2 prize knockout, then you just get into a 2/2/2 race, and it gives you a little bit of better time going into it. I also like the glass trumpet as the inclusion to just get more energy into play, combos well with the E-switch.
Sure.
And again, the big thing with this list is because there's this heavier reliance on like Wellspring and I think a little more like resilient to like item lock stuff. Actually playing 4 Crispin 3 Sada, but this has kind of been the standard for a while. I think this list is a card or two different than what has been played down in Chile before. But again, props to them for on a cool list and a great run with it.
I really like the Vitality Band. That lines up a lot of things with the Mega Kangaskhan hitting 210 on like Fezzes and stuff. The Sandy Shocks hitting 210. But really, the Wellspring Ogre Pawn hitting 110 in the active with the Monkey Dory, Soul Rocks, Lunatones, those types of things.
Yeah. They want to throw a Guardy. They want to throw a Soul Rock in the active. It don't matter. We're hitting 110 on the active.
That's so funny. I like that a lot. I didn't see that card really used because it didn't come up against the Guardy player in finals. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he definitely used the Trumpet Energy Switch and some cards to effectiveness. Had some unfortunate draws in game 3, and really just game 3 was just a 2-2-2 race that Carnivore was able to win because he found the candies. They played 3 candies, so that really helped him out a lot.
Real quick, if we go to Karis's list, a little bit of a standout piece here. Again, normal Dragapult Dusknoir, except the inclusion of replacing the Monkey Dory, a Moltres helps a little bit into the Skoldengo matchup as well. So the Fighting Wings and gives Dragapult another quick option, like take an easy 2-prize KO on a Genesect with no commitment. Surprisingly, no tool. The big piece has been if you're playing a Moltres, you want to play a tool to get the extra damage with it. But Karis actually have to play no tool to go with it. Just the Moltres smacking into a Genesect. I guess it was enough to take some surprise KOs because in that matchup, you generally want to
right? I mean, you can just hit the Goldengo for like, what is it, 240 or whatever it is, and clean it up
for 220.
220.
Yeah, clean it up later.
It's not if you combo with the Dusclops maybe, or if you're getting a read that they don't have that access to Turo type of thing, maybe you're able to have that damage stick. So it gives a little extra play in that. So a little interesting call there from Karis, and cool to see their success.
We can go ahead and talk about it now. One of our topics we want to talk about is how open deck lists were a thing in Top Cut of this tournament for the first time. So every list that we just talked about, their opponents knew about the list. So what happened was each person that made Top Cut, there was 12 of them, they all were given a list by the tournament organizer that was printed from Arcanine. It was a list of what the card does and what card it is, like what set and everything. So it had the attack names and all the text on the picture, and you give that to your opponent. You got 2 minutes to look at it, and then you give it back and you start. So this is the first tournament that happened, and Karis talked about it on stream where like, hey, the Moltres was a little less effective because she paired into a Goldengo player in ASEM.
Justin
Templar. And, it was a little less effective against him. So what are you guys' thoughts on, this coming up? Do you think this is going to apply to other tournaments, here coming up? Or do you also think that this sets a precedence for maybe all of day 2 to have list, right? Something along those lines.
I thought I heard whisperings or something that like Seattle was like doing this or something like that. I might be like tripping again, but I don't know. Like VGC's done it. The VGC players are in love with it. They love that. They can see exactly what's coming. I think part of the TCG is a little bit of like the hidden tech cards and stuff. So it takes a little bit away from that. But like I think it'd be cool to see.
Yeah, Seattle has announced that open deck lists will be a thing
for asymmetrical top as same as Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I think this and ultimately I do think that there's a good point of having the right call and kind of surprising your opponent. I think once you get to Top Cut, then in theory some of that is gone. And the problem is that I think in the past conventionally it hasn't been evenly known that of everyone's list, for example. So some folks on here, right? So like Karis had been on stream before, and Brent had been on stream prior to being in Top Cut. And I believe Justin had, actually, I don't know if Justin was. I don't think Justin was, but, or Henry Chow, right? Some people knew about these lists and knew pieces of the list that was out there, but that information could be mismatched. So for example, whoever plays Brent Tonneson and ASIM, could, their friend could go and say, hey, listen, I went to stream and I looked and I got every single card in Brent's list. Here you go. Right? Brent doesn't walk in with that same advantage. So should Brent be like penalized for being on stream? I think it's harder to say like, hey, if you're on stream in round 4, it's okay. Now, did people know your list, and do people on day 2 know your list now? Maybe not. It's a little hard to like prepare for that specifically. So I think for ASIM, it sets it all a little bit on an even playing field, where in theory you get to see like the best possible games of Pokemon. You don't have to worry about, oh, does this person have this counts or what it is. You give kind of both people perfect information and then can make decisions based on that. But to Parker, to your point, like, sometimes we've, played plenty of games where we're having to, hey, do I play around them having this card? Do they play a Briar? How many boss do they play? Right. There's these other questions. Or hey, I lose to this combination. Like, do they play 2 E-Switch and Raging Bolt or just the one? Like, there's some of these combinations, if you don't know them, then you can be
Are they crazy
around
like Eric
situations.
can play 4 E-Switch? I mean, like, come on.
I mean, yeah. So, but again, when you don't know some of these things, it's trickier. So, should players be rewarded for playing around what is most likely to happen, or should they be given perfect information, be playing around that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
and I guess my point is, when some people have perfect information, then it should at least be even. So, if you're going to stream players that have, if you're putting people in top 8 that have been on stream and like their list is public knowledge, then it's probably just an evening of the playing field in that case. So I think
I can even argue that it needs to be earlier, right? Because the same thing with like Tord, right? Tord, when he's at like a bigger tournament and he's doing well, like he gets streamed like almost instantly. At ICs, he's on stream like round 1. Now everyone knows what Tord's playing, right? Oh, Tord's playing Slowpoke. Oh, Tord's playing Slowpoke with a 1/1/1 Dusknoir, right? Like, all these things, they make their way around, and it's a little unfair to players like that, if I must say. So I wouldn't hate to see it included earlier. It does add a little bit more logistics to the tournament. I don't know if you can maybe do it for all of day 1, but I can maybe see it. Hey, day 2 stakes are higher. Everyone's playing to try to win a tournament and make a lot of money. You made it this far. Congratulations! Your reward for making it this far. You don't get extra CP. You don't get a promo card, but you get deck knowledge of what your opponent is playing, right? So I don't know, maybe something along those lines they could do. It's still 450 people, but they do it for all of VGC, and they've got 1,000 players in their tournaments, so they could do it.
And I guess the one thing I want to call out for VGC is, I was gonna say, there's a lot of cards in Standard, of course, right? But also, when every single Pokemon, I almost want to bet there's still more combinations in VGC, because each Pokemon can have 4 moves, and also all of them can terrestrialize into any of the 17 types, right? Including
you don't know their
Stellar.
stats, right? The stats aren't listed.
You don't know their stats. You don't know their stats.
Okay.
No. So it's not like you can't like be like, oh, this stat, I'm mathematically faster, or like I know the calculations, so I'm gonna deal this much damage.
Okay, that's good.
If you research enough, you can
sure.
You should have an idea based off their moves and held items.
I'll say the one thing I don't like about the list situation, and obviously, if someone's making top cut, it's probably not a big deal right now. But like, if I turn in my deck list to one of you guys at a League Cup, and let's just say we use this feature at a League Cup, the card text, like the name of the card, would not say what the card does. So it's kind of like Maddox, like, what does this card do in Standard thing, right? Like maybe like they shouldn't be able to see the picture of the card and like see the attack text. Maybe they should have to know what the card is, right? If you're already at the highest level, like you don't need the picture, like just print out the list. I don't know. That's something I kind of saw and didn't like. Anyways, let's move on. That's some thoughts. Let's move back to our kind of like Toronto review. I do want to give a quick shout out to Justin Templar being the only Goldango in top cut. Did perform very well, right? Look at the metagame. Goldango came in with 20% meta share. And then in day 2, it dropped a little bit down to 19%. So it's kind of conversion rate was down, but it still performed very well overall. We do see Charizard having like the best, I think it's the best conversion rate, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Gardevoir did first, and then Charizard, the 2 variants of Charizard had the best. And Groom had a pretty good conversion too. But what's holding Goldango back, right? Like, it's this 20% meta deck. There's so many good players that are on this deck. Why is there only one in ASAP? And if you look down below, holy moly, where is the next one? Jesus, down to 58th. What's going on with Goldango, and why is it not performing well? Maddox, I'll start with you. You're the Goldango resident right now.
Yeah.
Is it just like because everyone's teching for it? Like, what's going on here?
And right, people just know it's the deck to beat, right? I mean, there's no secret that people are going to play, people are going to be ready for it, and decks need to have a game plan for it, right? There have been previous formats. I think back to when Xander Perot, got third place with Goldango at UIC, almost a year ago. Right? People were not ready for Goldango. People didn't care about it. It was like, all right, this is gonna be whatever, right? Well, I mean, you fast forward a year, right? People know Goldango is very good. Lots of people like to pick it up and play. It's very aggressive. People like to pick it up and run with it, right? Right. People are drawing cards. It can one shot anything, and plays for boss. It's this aggressive attacking early engine. Like, people need to be ready for it. Like, I think the question for all of these lists, I mean, if you go to the metagame tab, right, all of them are almost there because they have some sort of plan into Goldango. And if they don't have a plan into Goldango, they had to make one, right? The End Zark list that became most popular, Liam Halliburton playing it with 3 Evos and a 2/2 Toad Scroll line. So into them, right, you're just saying, I will
Forest.
Right, I will create Toad Scrolls faster than you can knock me out. So, I mean, like, again, decks are having their place in the meta, like, because of how they handle into Goldango. So again, it's a deck that everyone's ready for. It's the most popular deck in the room. So that's one you need to be ready for. And when it's 20% of the room, you can't walk in a tournament not having a game plan for it. So I think all of these decks really had a game plan for it. Again, when you look at the numbers, right, a lot of people are playing it. It's surprising you only see one in the top 8, right? I think in Stuttgart, we saw just the power of Goldango. It was a little more successful in top 8. But when it came to Toronto, like, people were ready for it. And I think you still need to be ready for it. And if anyone decides to not be ready for it, I'm going to cut my Toad Scrolls. I'm going to cut my, I'm going to cut my cornerstones, right? I mean, then Goldango can just run over most of this format.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just, it's kind of frustrating because I see the deck like this and its conversion rate's pretty close to even. There should be a bigger representation towards the top, and there's just not. So we'll see what that takes. Matt Parker, you got any takes to add on to what Maddox said?
I think the thing is, like, with like, most of the decks now, there's like extra layers to them. Like, oh, they play Dustnor, they play this, and they have, like, they can execute multiple different strategies. Like, oh, I can Rare Canyon a Charizard and boss your guy, and I'm ahead in the prize race. Whoop-de-doo. Or, like, I can go back, I can poke something with this, and then Dustnor later, and like, there's like a bunch of that kind of stuff that goes on, and whereas Goldango is like pretty much just do one thing. I think maybe that's kind of like what's holding it back.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, I mean, there's a lot of players that I talk to that are like, oh, Goldango has so much, depth now. No, you don't. You attack with Make It Rain, you attack with Soul Rock, or you attack with Lopunny, or whatever your, counter to, whatever you call it, Crystal and stuff is, right? But I don't think there's like that many like plays that you can do these days. I mean, like, Max, I know you guys
quick response
played
to
Iono,
that,
right? Like, you guys played Iono, and that's a surprise. But like, I don't know. I don't think the deck list has that much depth to change.
Yeah, so I mean, when it comes to Goldango, I think some of the complexity of it comes in an awkward mirror match. When you're expecting such a high count of Goldango in the room, it's natural that Goldango players can hit other Goldango players. So navigating that matchup is actually a little bit of an interesting puzzle where you have efficient attackers in Soul Rock, but they one-shot your Gimme Ghouls, but they don't one-shot each other, the Soul Rocks. So how do you kind of handle this situation? So there are some interesting boards there, and I do think that, and the Goldango mirror, there actually is a decent bit of skill expression in handling of that matchup, where it's not as simple as, I Oonga Boonga Make It Rain, because there's a lot of board states that you can get punished for that very easily based on how these lists are built. But again, I think it's even like being aware of the counters, right? So if you're playing against like a Toad Scroll deck, or you're playing against, a Dragapult deck or a Jelly Guardy deck, right? You need to play these matchups in a certain way, knowing how they can punish you. So there's a bit of resource management going in there as well, to just not, lose to a Frillish, right? A lot of these decks, they say, hey, if I'm going to put you in a position where you just lose to Badoo or Frillish, right? And even some of the best players, we see this falling over, right? We saw Justin Templar getting locked out by Karis on stream with a Badoo lock. So Goldango players at the highest level need to be prepared for these situations to not walk into them. I think that's where a pitfall of a lot of people who are newer or less experienced with the deck come in. and thinking, it's this kind of straightforward attacking pile, but really like the best players are aware of these nuances and how it needs to battle into other decks. And that's where some of that skill expression is going. But to your point, I like some sort of comeback potential. So Iono, it was a very fun inclusion to play this past week, including with the counter catcher. Sometimes you're in a board, it's like normally as Goldango, like I am down prizes. I never win this game, but I can a counter catcher your Fez, Iono you to 2, draw a bunch of cards into SCR and take a knockout and ask, do you have it? And sometimes they just don't have it, right? I mean, like having that ability to disrupt and counterplay gives a new dimension that I've enjoyed having, and probably a deck like Goldango could use if you can fit it in responsibly. But again, a lot of players are just opting to say, I just won't fall behind. I have a game plan to get ahead early, and if I'm falling behind, I'll scoop and go to the next one.
Right, and that's kind of like the point where I was like, oh, I can just scoop and go to the next one. But all right, let's move on. Look at the rest of kind of like the higher top finishes. We have Emma Hagen killing it again with Flareon once again, 13th place, 11-3. Congrats to Emma. We got some Charizard.
Again, posted their list before the tournament, and then actually got the little stream special on it because
stream,
because they're like, hey, my list's out there, sure. So
yeah. So yeah, Flareon's biggest enjoyer, still doing well. Some Charizard Noctows right here on the outside. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here in the top 25. So some of them are doing well. Liam Halliburton with you just mentioned that a minute ago. And Zurak with a 2/2 toast.
Yeah, let's show this list. Yeah. I mean, this list is very cool. It kind of popped up very recently, kind of before the tournament, but really just a Zoroark attacking deck, and no Arvin, just Secret Box, find your TMs, but 3 TM Evos and Super Rods. I mean, you have a lot of ways to just very aggressively set up
that's a big change. Yeah, like that's a big.
Yeah, some of them opt for the Cyrano engine, some opt for the Lily's Determination engine. Since you're leaning more into like the TM evolution game plan to better combo with Toad Scrolls, the Lilies kind of make sense here. But girls basically play tournament Lilies and Evo into your Zoroarks. And again, really, you run into a situation. I mean, the way this is played against Goldango is, wait for your opponent to take a knockout on a Zoroark, and then you just go Evo into 2 Toad Scrolls. They say, okay, figure it out. Right? I mean, if they ever punch through 2, you just Super Rod. You can go Super Rod the pieces back and Evo again.
That's so funny.
So it's
a
cool.
It's like also 2 Zoroarks, Reshiram, 2 Toad Scrolls, and whatever else.
Exactly, and you just you're hitting for a little bit. You're hitting 170 over and over, but like Goldango literally can't recover energy to knock you out. So
that's crazy.
Also the 1/1 low punny as a little cornerstone out. I'm sure Liam Halliburton would have wanted this against Tord back in Las Vegas, but so now he made sure to have the inclusion in there.
Yeah, I like this. Enzork's going to be big coming up after Ascended Heroes, right? We get that, Zekrom? Crazy. We'll start looking at some of those lists next week. What else to show down here? We did have Sanjay with Mega Absol. See if you got anything special in here, or is this
spicy piece? The Erica's Invitation and the Genesect Ace Nullifier as the new inclusions in Mega Absol. That being a little bit of the answer into Goldango. No other dedicated Goldango techs in here. Right. Really just the Erica's Invitation, I think, to kind of get a little extra Evil Tall Retreat Lock, really leaning into that line against Goldango. And Genesect Ace Nullifier shutting off the Prime Catcher, of course, the ace spec of choice for many, many Goldango decks.
I'd like to see a Palpad in here. Trying to go that route.
Yeah, they haven't been playing Palpad in this list. I think the Erica's, it's a little bit of a fishing a little bit, but also if Goldango really doesn't have a way to shuffle their hand, so I think you can let them get to a spot where they have everything in their hands, and you can punish that.
Well, just like most of them are playing at least 1 Turo, maybe 2, right? Like, so do you lose the 2 Turos? Probably.
Even.
Well, if you're Claw of Darkness to shut one down, right? You can snipe the Turos with Absol as well. So I think if you can combo things correct, if you're building up to an Absol, snipe a Turo, lock something, they Turo it, and then you can go Erica's trap something else. Probably a game plan like that if I had to guess.
Then we had none other than Tanky Kangi in 22nd place
with Moltres,
with 2 Moltres and a Brave Bengal. That'll KO some Goldangos right there. Played the other Boothal.
What does that guy do?
So this has been an inclusion in Tanky Kangi for a while for optimal lists. You play the Bouffalant from Obsidian Flames. It's just a boofer ability. It's a little more HP. and its ability takes extra less damage. So since you need 2 Bouffalants in play anyways, and one of them has to have the ability, the other one doesn't need to have the ability, and it doesn't really matter like which one is there or doesn't have it anyways.
Worst king is coming.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but also like it's a more efficient attack. Like it is.
No, I know.
Anyone who's playing Bouffant, it is correct to play one copy of this since we're not playing fan
Crispin to it if you played Crispin, right? Like,
yeah, I mean it's an easier attacker. Sometimes in these matchups, you want to have a single prize or active force a little more there.
I just played 2 Crispin, so Crispin is live to it. So yeah, okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Also, the Calamitous Snowy Mountain, a little bit of a conclusion we don't always see. It's a Calamitous Snowy Mountain when you attach an energy from your hand to one of your non-basic or when you're non-water basic Pokemon, you put 2 damage on it. So a great way to generate damage with Monkey Dory. A little more of like an aggro damage play as opposed to like the defensive Lively Stadium. So kind of cool to see.
All right. Anything else to call out here besides all the Dragapults? There's Dragapult Charizard. There's Jesse Parker.
Talk Jesse Parker.
We can't show this, can we?
So Jesse Parker, right? Of course.
Can.
Jesse Parker running back with the Miraidon for Toronto. Of course, he had 3rd place at Worlds with the Miraidon EX. Here again, we've seen kind of, Ross Cawthon kind of running a similar list to this, just like the very aggressive research and the Hero 4 Carmine as well from Jesse. But like a 2/2 Magneton to give you options to power up your Iron Hands. Zekrom as your attackers. Even has the Defiance Band for a little extra damage. And of course, 4 Electric Generator. Hit those, run hot, double squawk, so you can always get going. Just like a cool, straightforward list. And, cool to see Jesse with a nice run on this. Now, it would have been really cool to see him win the win-in and be in top with Miraidon. That would surprise everyone. That like single-handedly would put Miraidon like back on the map.
Yeah. I mean, I've been whispering that it's there, that, it's ready. I'm working on it. And my list is very different. Like, I don't play Carmines, clearly, because that card sucks. And I also play the Mega Manectric. So, I mean, this is like more straightforward, like just Turbo, go first, Squawk, and Carmine, get your cards in discard pile, Magaton next turn. So this list kind of loses to Psyduck, and it probably loses to like Tanky Kangi, Mega Absols. Like, you're just getting bodied by both those decks with this list. So, but I mean, a lot of the format right now, like Gardevoir, Dragapult, I mean, we saw Goldingo on stream. It's kind of, Goldingo's really a prize race with this list, right? You go first, you take the first 2, you win. If you don't, then you probably lose. And he did take the first 2, but made a misplay and had the stretcher prize that missed the rod. So, but I mean, those 3 matchups are the 3 big ones, right? We talked about it last week. What are the 3 big, decks in format right now? It's Gardevoir, it's Dragapult, it's
Goldingo,
right? Those 3. So 50-50 in the Goldingo and favor the other 2. Yeah. So, I like the list. I mean, it's okay. I don't like Carmines. If you're gonna play Carmines, I'd rather see Pokemon catchers. But that's just me. All right, let's move on. Anything else to call out here before we jump into our predictions review?
Ross Cawthon back at it again with Ceruledge, 55th place.
Oh,
he's doing it, right?
I missed that.
Ross Cawthon, doing what he does. Again, rocking some Ceruledge.
Bro, stop with the Carmines, bro.
He knows how he wants to play it. So,
I mean, this is how he's been playing it. Like, he hasn't changed anything for sure. How many Goldingos did he hit? 2? Is it?
Only 2. Wow.
That's crazy. Lost the Brent Tyneson. Cleft up his last 4 for top 64. My goat.
Wow. Actually, Brent Tyneson versus Ross Cawthon would have been a round 4 stream match too.
It could have been a round 4, but instead we got Kieran versus Rowan. That was a good one.
The Canadian.
Oh, that was also.
So that's a very good one. So lots of good options. Cool to see that.
All right, let's run through our predictions real quick before we move on. So first up, our predictions was which list will do better, which deck will do better, Goldingo or Charizard. Maddox and Parker both said Goldingo. I said Charizard. Congrats to you, Maddox and Parker. 8th place Goldingo. You had 1 there though. I had like 5 before your next Goldingo, but you still won. So
as Eric will brag about later. Oh, it's about who got the higher. Blah, 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 blah,
I know, you're right. Next up, speaking of bragging, Guardian Drifloon or Guardian Jello, which one would be better? Parker, you said Guardian Drifloon. I said Guardian Jelly. Maddox tried to say both, that, there was going to be a Jelly and a Drifloon. I'm like, nah, dog. So Guardian
I tried to
Jelly
shoot
won
my
the
shot.
event. Guardian Jelly won the event. I called that one. So congrats to me. Moving up was next was Mega Absol or Kangaskhan Buffalant. We just went over those lists. We had 21st place for Mega Absol. We all said Mega Absol. But it's worth noting the Boof was right there. 22nd.
It was one place
It was
away.
right there, bro.
We barely got that one right, boys.
Get
Next
that off
prediction was
resistance.
which
It
deck will do
was-
better, Terrabox or Lopunny Dusknoir? Parker said Terrabox. Me and Max said Lopunny Dusknoir. It was Rahul's birthday. It was his time. He got 84th place, and Rahul took it down for
Terrabox.
Parker. Worth noting, there was more Festival lead decks in day 2 than Lopunny Dusknoir. Is Lopunny like super fraud alert right now?
Well, there's also more Festival lead decks than Terrabox decks, so
Sure.
a Festival lead's just good.
Maybe Festival lead is just broken.
I think like so long as Dragapult exists, it's just better than Funny. I mean, they're different decks, but like
Fair.
I mean, like a Festival lead. Actually, I can't really defend the Festival lead in the Dragapult matchup. I'll just be quiet on that one. So
Next up, predictions. What deck that we didn't mention out of our like most popular meta decks will have the best finish? Parker and Maddox said Ends Zorak. We just talked about Liam getting 18th place with that, but I said none other than Raging Bolt, and it got second place.
oh my god,
Raging
Truly
Bolt, baby.
put it in
truly
D
unbelievable
tier.
miss.
Hey, Raging Bolt, is it back? Is the metagame going to shift because Raging Bolt made finals?
No.
No, like serious question, serious topic of discussion.
Would you like a
Is
serious
Raging
answer
Bolt-
from me?
Is it gonna take the meta share that Enzorg just had?
No.
Bro, people love Raging Bolt, bro.
They do love Raging.
Listen.
Every person in the world has Raging Bolt sleeved up
Everyone has
somewhere.
a sleeve, bro. I'm just saying. And we'll talk about Emily's list in a little bit. She had a different list and did well on day 2 as well, with very little prep. So all I'm saying is, you beat Goldango because you're better. Because you're better. You beat Dragapult. We saw Andres beat Ceres in top 4 to make finals. You probably lose to Gardevoir. That's the problem, right? That's why we had it in D tier. Right? It's because of Gardevoir. But anyway, I'm just saying, Raging Bolt enjoyers, stand up. Where you at? Show me your love in the comments. Tell me when you're sleeving it up. Let's go.
He hit a bunch of Mega Kangaskhan and
Did
Absol. That's a free win for that deck. Kind of.
Not
Maybe
Absol.
not. I guess they just evil tell you.
Yeah,
But I guess you could just kill 2-3 prizers and it doesn't matter.
good. All right, next prediction
I think,
was.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I think in theory, like Mega Absol could like retreat lock like them out of the game. But I think the problem is like you're never drawing cards because if you just like put like Kangaskhan in the active, you just probably lose.
Yeah.
Like because they just go blow it up. Or even like, Emily Lyric mentioned it's like, play the baby Koraidon. Oh look, if they took a knockout with Absol, you just one shot a Kangaskhan
I
with
hate the
Koraidon.
baby Koraidon on the list. That thing is so annoying. Anyways,
Yeah.
next up, our prediction was over under for Alakazam to Dunsparces in day 2. We set the line at 10.5. And Parker, you said under. I said under, and Maddox said over. There was only 8 Alakazams in day 2. Shout out Amy Wasley coming over from Europe and bringing the spoons and making day 2. But there's only 8. Maddox, better luck next time, buddy.
Hey, listen, all their fights got canceled. There's another group of 30 Alakazam players.
sure.
All their fights got canceled. That was the whole reason they missed.
Right.
Alakazam believers rise up.
The next question we're going to skip because I don't like the answer. I'm just kidding. What will be there more of? Mega Sharpedo or Cynthia's Garchomp in day 2? Parker and Max both said Cynthia's Garchomp. I said Sharpedo because I am a shark believer. However, there was 0 sharks in day 2. Come on, sharks.
All we believe is that the deck's bad. That's all we believe.
All right, how many sharks actually showed up though? 12?
I see 1. Actually, that's matchup data. Just kidding.
12.
Sharpedo talks shitty.
Goodness.
Dude, they all got cooked.
They did all get cooked.
Yikes.
You truly hate to see it.
2-1 Toadscroll, that's not enough. You need 2-2, bro.
It's okay. It's okay.
Anyways. Better luck next time, Sharpedo. We need Goldango to rotate. We'll be good.
Period.
Next up, pick the winning deck and country. Maddox and Parker both said USA and Gardevoir. You were right on the Gardevoir. You were wrong on the country, but I said Europe and Charizard, so I was very wrong.
So wrong.
So, it's all because Tord couldn't get on the flight, and I saw like a couple other people coming from over in Europe, like you said, Maddox.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get there. So,
Okay.
All right. Anyways, that's kind of wrapping up our Toronto discussion for the most part, but I'll leave it with this, Maddox. You're probably not going to change much going into Merida, but and there's also a tournament in Birmingham, over in Europe this weekend. So, is anything going to change in the meta? Are you expecting any shifts because of the results this weekend?
I think the change here is anyone who was kind of disrespecting Dragapult needs to remember, hey, Dragapult is still good. People will still play it. Jelly Guardy, right, still winning, needs to kind of stay present in people's minds. Again, Zard kind of had a low week, so this is maybe a chance that, like, are people cutting the watchtowers, right? I think that's probably the question that comes up.
Right.
Again, it's such a short turnaround between tournaments. It's going to be like so regionally based. I think we will see a pretty decently different meta spread, like between like Birmingham and Merida, right? Goldango's still going to be popular at both, but like Goldango never seems to be like that popular in Europe. I can see Charizard still being very popular in Merida since, Charizard was the most played deck in Merida last season, even when like Zard wasn't good. So like surely now that Zard is good, people will play it.
Surely.
So we'll kind of see what happens. I think the big thing is, you can't neglect your Dragapult matchup. You can maybe neglect the Zard matchup in Europe, maybe not. Maybe the Zard enjoyers are there. Maybe you still just have to respect Zard because in Merida they like Zard and in Europe they like Zard. So I just have to stick with that. But yeah, that's my little pieces. Parker, anything you think as the main like takeaways heading into tournaments this weekend?
Zard is always present. I think maybe it's not the worst decision ever to cut your watchtower though, for maybe a little extra consistency. Maybe like the little jamming tower again. Patch that Guardy matchup.
Yeah.
Always going to be there too. Dragapult, like they're like people were saying Dragapult was not a good deck.
Yeah.
It's like I don't see how that's possible.
It's definitely the best board wipe deck, right? We saw Lopunny not do anything. So clearly, right? I don't think much changes though. I do think there'll be more Regibolt this weekend. Maybe some less Charizard. Maybe some of those players jump over. I don't know. Regibolt's just good right now. Overall, like the turbo decks are pretty good. If you can pop off the turbo decks, they're just really good right now. So, I don't think much changes. I think all the predictions are kind of close to the same. I just don't think Charizard's that good. I think it's on Friend Alert. Hot take. Hot take. But there's some good finishes up there. They have like 5 and top 25. They just didn't make top cut. Anyways, let's move on. I'm going to talk about a board state in I think this was basically a win and in to cut. It's 10-1 versus 9-0-2. So both players trying to get to 11 wins and be able to like ID their way in. So it's game 3. Justin just had his Gardevoir hit for 200, and Saris took the Pheasantipede out. So Saris used the Dusclops last turn on the Pheasantipede, took out the Pheasantipede, plus I added Justin to 5. And then Cyrus was left with this board state where her Neo Upper Energy is on her active, and she's got she has 2 energy on the 1 Cloak. So she didn't split her energies the previous turn. So Justin's in a board state where, like, off the site, I don't know if he can find, Mew plus Clefairy and copy, Phantom Dive and take out both the Dracloak and the active. Because the dark was also not on the monkey. He got the monkey this turn before the lilies. But he got down to this situation, right? So here's the situation. There's approximately 25 cards left in deck. He has 3 outs to Clefairy. He's playing Ultra Ball. He currently has 3 cards in hand, but there's a Vessel and another energy. So he can thin down his hand to like 1 card. So the options are we can get Clefairy here, or we can get Mew. And if we get Mew, we can restart and draw 2. And if we hit the Ultra Ball, the Nest Ball, or the Fairy itself, you essentially just win on the spot, like pretty close to it. And if you don't, and if you miss, you probably lose on the spot. So in this situation, 25 card deck, 3 outs to it. Maddox, I'll let you go first. What are you choosing and why?
Oh, wait, so Supporter's been played here?
Supporter's been played. There's no draw. Fez isn't an option because in this situation, you need Mew plus Clefairy.
Well, I mean, Fez just got KO'd is what you're
but like saying. Even if you draw into like Stretcher, it wouldn't be an option because you have 3 Pokemon on your bench. So,
well, I think, in this matchup in particular, there are situations where you don't necessarily need to get the Mew play with Clefairy. Obviously, it's nice if you can pull it off.
Yeah.
I do think in a board like this, well,
if you don't pull it off, you probably just lose also with the Dusclops being there, right? If you attack, if you attack with Clefairy or whatever, like.
Well, counterpoint. If we get Mew here and we go Phantom Dive the active, we can use Monkey Dory to KO the Dusclops with Phantom Dive, right? Then us going down to 4 and chunking into the Dragapult, and now we're forcing Karis to, have the Salmon Dragapult in play. They probably need to establish the second Dragapult down. Yeah. But if we're able to, we're able to hit the first Dragapult for 200, that damage is going to stay in play, which then sets up for a future turn of us if we're able to go and pull off a double monkey to it to put 60 on it and then go hit the new Dragapult that we have to put into play, or else Karis just gets wiped and do the play later with Mew type of thing. So again, the tricky part is being able to recover all this. I think in general, like, you can use Mew to go and attack in these board states without the Clefairy down. Obviously, it's great if you can just, have it all and, take out everything.
Sure.
But I do think in a spot like this, like if you're just looking for impactful like attacker, you could just go that route. Also, if you're able to like put a charm on the Mew, then you can like keep that alive longer. You're probably also trying to like establish more curly. I mean, there's so many different ways the matchup can go here.
It's also worth noting, like Justin's hand would be dead essentially, right? His hand is Vessel, I think, energy something. I don't remember where the third card is. So his hand's like close to dead. So long story short, he took too long here. Got had slow play warning earlier in the same match, and then got DPL here, which essentially lost them a game. Mm-hmm. Parker, what are your thoughts? What do you think's the correct play here?
Okay, so he's used Supporter. He's used Stadium.
Yep, he's used Stadium. Yep, Stadium's used. So it's Ultra Ball. Got 3 cards in hand. We can thin down to 1. We can grab Mew and draw 2 cards, or we can grab Clefairy and guarantee KO on the active. Put us down to 3 prizes left. There's a Badoo there that's for the taking later. To Max's point, if you take the Mew, you can
kill.
You can just hit the active and kill the Dusclops, right? Which is the big threat.
Yeah. Which I think probably is the best play because like you also need to find like a Curlia probably.
Right.
You do that.
You gotta expect your Gardevoirs going down probably.
Yeah. But I guess if Dragapult, like, you have it inactive. I mean, I'm sure they'll find it. But...
yeah, we know Karis plays 3. I'm sure Justin at this point knows that Karis is playing 3 Dragapults as well. So I don't know. Maddox, I didn't think about the play you mentioned, so I kind of lean towards that play actually. But it's scary having, 110 damage left on your Gardevoir, probably 80 or whatever after your Junior Billing. It's scary.
Yeah, I mean, considering that you need the draw, right? That's the other piece you mentioned, that your hand is dead otherwise. Like you can play the hand down.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Need the draw. Then the Mew at least gives you a chance to restart it. But again, it's one of those things where, if you go KO the Dusclops, then Karis doesn't have the ability to KO both the Mew and the Gardevoir. So you either keep your engine to generate everything, or you keep the Mew, which again, if you find the Clefairy still, then you can still just you have all your energy in play still. So is it, of course we never get to see how this plays out. But again, Justin has a lot more, actually, I was going to say Justin has more reps with Dragapult. I actually don't know how many reps Justin has with Gardevoir, but obviously we know he's, we know he's, plays online a lot, so I'm sure he's comfortable with the deck enough to play it. Yeah, it looks like the
And last card's
and
like
there's too much there.
I don't know what that last card is. Oh, it's an item of some type. I don't know. He doesn't have
Well, it
much.
was maybe even like Turo something, but yeah,
Yeah,
but
maybe Turo. Actually,
yeah, I mean,
you're right,
I
it's
think
Turo.
here I mean, if you're going into like a Mew line here, again, if you're saying you need to refill the hand anyways, and it's probably like the Mew angle. And what's also nice that Dark Energy can still be used for Mystery Garden next turn if the stadium sticks.
True.
So it's
True.
probably Mew as, or I mean, you could go Screamtail, but then you're like pretty susceptible to like a boss on bot. Well, I mean, Counter Catcher wouldn't be active, but you're pretty susceptible to a boss on the Guardy at that point. Again, maybe if Justin can get the candy, that's why I'm like, since you need the draw anyways, probably a Mew here. Phantom Dive, KO the Dusclops, and then from there, then you're able to either keep your Guardy alive or keep your Mew alive, either way, which will give you enough to close out the game. And I don't think Karis would have a line to win on that next turn, even with the Mew or Gardevoir being taken out.
Yeah, it was a really interesting board state. I when I was watching live, I was like, man, I was really excited to see the ending of that game. And unfortunately, you got to play a little faster. We talked about it, so judges got him. All right, moving on. Let's talk about our trivia question for this week. But before we do, a quick shout out to FCBC. I saw a bunch of people repping FCBCs this weekend. I saw a bunch of players make top 8 with FCBCs. So if you want to make top 8 at your local cup, your local challenge, whatever it is, grab a pack of sleeves. Parker's over there repping his sleeves. So Max, I know you played this weekend. What color were you rocking this weekend?
I went back to Periwinkles. I had mixed up colors lately and hadn't done as well, so I was like, let me just go back to tried and true Periwinkles.
Okay.
And also, I mean, again, I literally dunked my cards in the snow, and I played with the same sleeves for 14 rounds, no breaks, no issues, sleeves at all, and dunked my cards in the snow, and the cards are still fine. So shout out FCBC for taking good care of my cards.
Yeah, shot FCBC. All right, moving on to our trivia segment. For this next trivia question, of course, I'm using Limitless TCG data. I am not including special events in this data set. However, according to Limitless TCG and major events in the West, out in our regions, what tournament had the highest placing Raging Bolt deck before today? What tournament had the highest placing Raging Bolt before?
How recently?
I'm asking you.
East-Western tournaments?
On the Western only, on our side of the country.
So ours, that implies North or South America, hemisphere. We're saying not
Europe
not,
and stuff, right?
Not Asia.
Not Asia. Not Asia, not special events. That's the only exclusions.
So what's the most recent limitless entry prior to Toronto for Raging Bolt? Is that the question?
No, what's the highest placing Raging Bolt deck before? Sorry, what I meant to say.
Ever? I
apologize.
Labella winning,
What I meant to ask is, when's the last time Raging Bolt made top 8? There you go.
Gotcha. Okay. There you go.
Oh. When's the last time Raging Bolt made top 8 before this tournament?
So we know it made it at Worlds.
Worlds, yeah, I was gonna say Worlds.
But was there anything since then? What about the tournament? I mean that first regional of the year in Brazil. Was there a Raging Bolt there potentially? Parker, what do you remember?
I thought Pittsburgh was the first regional, so
Pittsburgh was the first regional, but I mean there was the first regional in LATAM. I meant, yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't
Actually, I think it might have been there because I do think that this Chilean list had seen some success. I just don't know what event that would have been.
Yeah. What was it? It wasn't Sao.
That's where LA was. I think there was another regional that I'm pretty sure Bolt got top 8 at. I just don't know if I remember.
Region.
Am I allowed to look at the list of the regionals? Not on Limitless, just in the championships page. I'm just gonna jump.
Sure.
When's I'm allowed to look at
share.
Oh. Okay. Actually, wait. It doesn't show history. No. Man.
I can tell you the tournaments since Worlds if that's what you want to know.
Sure. Yes.
All right. So since Worlds, there is Frankfurt, Monterrey, Pittsburgh, Belo Horizonte, Milwaukee.
That's what it was.
Lille.
It's probably Belo Horizonte.
Brisbane, Gdansk, Las Vegas, LAIC, Student
I
credits, Toronto.
Yeah.
I think it's Bello. I like rings of Bell.
Unless it was like an SPE that it got top 8 that might be where
Well, he
I'm
said
off,
he's not counting him. But...
That's what I mean, right?
Oh yeah.
I think the Chilean Raging Bolt got top 8 at one of those. Actually, maybe it was 2. I mean, I maybe could have been Bella Horizonte. I'm good to send Bella Horizonte if you're comfortable with that, Parker.
Me too.
We'll say Bella Horizonte with Chilean Raging Bolt.
All right. Belo Horizonte, the highest placing Raging Bolt, was 11th place with Valencia. However, the special event that I excluded was also Yurko getting top cut with the Raging Bolt. So the answer was Worlds. You guys were on it, but you did not lock it in. So better luck next time. Okay. Well, that was fun. Well, Raging Bolt, enjoyers are back. All right, next up, we're going to be talking through some of the spicier list, and then we're going to wrap it up with Crispin'S Corner. Each of us are going to talk about some spicy lists. I'm going to blitz through my 3 that I have, and then we will get to you guys. So first up for me, Scott Cannell, I'm not sure how to say it, with the Ting Lu Frostlass, 116th place. What the Ting do, bro? We got neutralization zone, 4 prisms, and we're just doing a lot of damage. We're putting damage on things. We're putting Frostlass everywhere. We're trying to take 6 prizes in 1 turn. We're trying to Devo. We got 3 copies of TM Demolition.
4 Chorus.
4 Chorus Tenacity, 4 Iron, 4 Lilies. What are your guys' thoughts on this 116th place deck list? Does this deck have legs in this format?
Honestly, I think so. I don't think Badu Frostlass is like that bad. So like, it's minus item lock plus more damage. Like, I think is actually not that bad considering Debo is a card in the format still.
Yeah, apparently Alex Szymanski was going to bring this deck with him if he had made it to Toronto. He had one of his 2 decks. Yeah. Max, what are your thoughts on this deck? You like it? You gonna play it? You gonna see what's up?
It's very neat. I mean, again, it's very like low to ground single prize, and you're just again putting a bunch of damage into play. And I think what's really cool is like with the 3 copies of Devo, a lot of these decks need to play into like 1 like big Devo turn, but here you can like kind of constantly like play the Devos back to back if you ever need to, or like multiple times in a match very easily. So I think it's very cool. You have some nice little backdoor win cons, or like the neutralization zone between your Ting Lu discarding your opponent's stadiums. There are some board states where you can probably close out. I think it's a very neat list to see. Again, the Chorus engine is neat, but like, hey, it's gonna help you get your Kidori attachments every turn. Keep chaining Artisan, keep chaining your Darks. The Prism Energy is kind of whatever you need. So, I'm kind of surprised it's not leaning more into like a Badu or Evil Tall Lock. It's just really more on like, hey, I'm gonna like attack and just continue the damage spread. But I think that's probably where you gain some percentage like in the Guardy, because while they can set up their own Monkey Dories, and like bully your Frostlass as well, they're like, when you're putting more damage into play with Ting Lu, right? You're pinging everything on their board, plus you're dealing 30 extra. So there's a few different ways that you're like dealing a little more damage.
This to me is the Richard Disney special, and we should definitely send it to him.
Exactly.
Shout out Scott for top 128 with that. Also top 128, one of our friends of the podcast, Emily Foreman, coming over from Europe this year, playing a version of Raging Bolt that I have been experimenting with a little bit. Got the Raging Bolt Soul Rock Lunatone package. I think she called it like the Ancient Raging Bolt Dinosaurs or something. But yeah, really interesting list here. Just trying to rely on Sada mostly throughout the game. 1 copy of Crispin, 1 copy of Judge, but also relying on more single prize attackers in this list. What do you guys think about Emily's Raging Bolt deck? Is this better than the one that got finals?
Yeah, I mean, the big standout here is no owls, of course, right? And having an eye on the, Sada chaining engine and Squawk. I talked to Emily. She said, hey, your opening hand like is really dependent on how your game goes. But in a lot of situations, you have a lot of combinations to grab 2 rocks plus fighting energy. You play a higher kind of fighting energies than normal Raging Bolt lists do. And also Fighting Gong, a little more neutral usage than just grabbing the rocks and fighting energy. You can grab your Koraidon, you grab your Sandy Shocks EX, gets an extra damn energy into play. So lots of cool tools here. Parker, what you think? You think you're gonna run to this at locals this week?
No,
I mean, I am showing up this week, so it's possible
you're
you
gonna
might
win
run
your
into
first
it.
round, and I'm gonna lose my first round. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, I don't know. Like I like it is solid. Like I'm. Is this the first like rock bolt?
Yeah, I think it's the
That's
first
like
one that's like
made
kind
in
of like
day
done well.
2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised on that because like it's like a.
Well,
I
no
mean,
one's
obviously,
tried it. Like no, like people
yeah,
are too
yeah,
scared
yeah.
to like go no owls bolt these days.
Yeah, I mean the
Like, oh, the
owls are
best
like
list is owls
too
bolt, so
good.
I'll just play owls. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited to see
Search
those odds.
2,
Yeah.
search 2 versus draw 3. Like I kind of agree, I guess. So like, yeah.
All right. Those are my two. And Parker, you got one for me. I've already have it up for you if you want to run through Bryce's deck here, 131st place.
Yeah, so we got Cynthia's Garchomp. Personal favorite deck of mine.
Boo.
Like I just like, you know, having a 400 HP guy that can also one shot. I don't know. I like the deck so much. It was the deck I chose while I was in the hospital
Oh, that's
to
true.
play
That's
against
true.
Maddox. Right.
I do like
But
the 2-4 stadium inclusion. Is that normal? Was that, or that's kind of
No.
new?
The ones that played the Toad Scroll have played it, I believe. And actually, I think they just played in general. But I don't know.
Max is like boss KO Toad Scroll, and they're like, cool. I'm
Do it again, yeah. It's good.
Yeah, we need a Lana in here or something to grab that. It's like, cause yoink.
Yeah.
Get the Lanas out of here.
Anything else from you, Parker, from the tournament? You got any other spices?
No, that was the spicier one
Okay.
that I'd like. Good.
All right, Max, what do you got for us? Let me get some spicy lists.
Yeah, on my side, we're playing a quick surprise segment of what does that card in standard do? So Parker, Eric,
I'm not ready.
you'll have opportunity to earn 3 points on these two cards. I'll be talking about these cards. 1 question if you correctly know what the card in standard does. 2 if you can guess the deck that it's played in, and 3 if you can guess the placement based on the buckets that championship points are awarded.
Jesus.
Are you ready to go?
Okay, sure.
All right, first off, we have Armor Rouge from Surging Sparks.
Mm-hmm.
Stage 1, single prizer, 140 HP. What does this card in standard do?
That's the fire off ability guy.
Nope.
You can work together on this. Yeah,
it's not?
Parker,
This
talk now.
One. No, it's not.
Oh,
Fire off is the Scarlet Violet one.
I don't know.
Definitely.
Wait, is this the oh, that's the Ceruledge. Edge. Never mind.
Armor. It's weird because I kept this card. Like I
Isn't
didn't
there one that's, like-
immediately bulk this card.
Isn't there one that like does attacks for like number of fire or number of like fire attached on your board or something? Isn't there a single prizer that does something like that? I don't know.
Not that I remember.
I give up.
All right, no point here. So we have for 2 colorless, we have the combustion attack for 50, but the second attack we're more concerned with for fire colorless, Crimson Blaster. Discard all energy from this Pokemon, and this attack does 180 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. This is this card's first limitless entry. What deck archetype was it included in?
Ho-Oh, I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
What was that?
Gotta be Ho-Oh.
Yeah, I would say like a Ho-Oh box, but like maybe Ceruledge.
No, you're never attaching to it.
This was in a Slowking deck.
What?
Which placement? You want to guess there?
Top 512.
Top 128.
Top 256, 141st placed.
I knew it was in
Going
the
on.
hundreds.
If you go to 141st place, we'll see the highest placing Slowking
Yeah.
deck of the tournament all the way in day 2, 141st place.
That's crazy.
Austin Kaluski, with a bunch of cool inclusions
Wait.
here for the Slowking, 141.
141.
Austin Kaluski, cool inclusions
Holy
here.
moly.
Some Mega Kangaskhan as your little draw engine, and a bunch of other neat inclusions here. Really just a dedicated Slowking deck using that Wondrous Patch and Latias EX to like push your Mega Kangaskhan active, power up your Slowkings,
Yeah.
and then just chain off Kyurem or
Okay.
Armor Rouge,
All right.
Conkeldurr, or Annihilate. So
All right. I see the vision. We got Power Glass too. That way for Kyurem. Whoo.
Yeah.
All right. I'm here for it.
We got a bunch of fire snipe attackers, so pretty
But
cool.
they got two bad cards in this list. What the heck?
Yeah, I don't know what the 2 Carmine are doing there, honestly, but they're playing the Squawk. I guess it's like if you got Latias and Mega King has gone in play, you got liabilities anyways. We're just gonna keep chaining. We're just gonna use Slow. We're just gonna use Kirim twice. Hey, I don't know, man. I didn't make the list.
I mean, I guess it's if you secret box turn 1, like Carmine Live. If you like open it, you want to Squawk, I guess.
Yep.
Ugh.
And of course, you can click on this Armor Rouge so the audience at home can see this card from Surging Spark. It's the card's first limitless entry, so shout out here for getting that achievement.
I mean, it's the Mew Killer, right? Is what it is. It's like, I guess, I can't kill anything. It's the Mew Killer.
Exactly. Sure. So, also shout out to Ben, my buddy who I stayed with, who is using his Armor Rouge to great success in the finals of the Cube Battle versus Xander.
The same Armor Rouge?
Yes.
That's
hilarious. All right, card number 2, Community Center Stadium card. What does Community Center do in Standard?
Is that the tool one or is that the healing one, Parker?
Oh, it's the healing one.
Okay, so Community Center says if one of your Pokemon are damaged, you can like discard energy and heal 20.
No, I think it's if you played a supporter or something.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
is that what it is?
Yeah, if you play a supporter, you can heal 30 or 20. One of the 2.
10 or something.
Something all right, like Parker got you all the point there. Community Center, once during each player's turn, if they played a supporter card from their hand, they may heal 10 damage for each of their Pokemon.
Okay. Yeah. I saw a Twitter post about this, but I don't remember.
Now, which deck played Community Center for a day 2?
Alakazam.
In Toronto.
Alakazam.
It sounds like, Dingo?
Nah.
I don't know who played it.
Parker with the hard carry Goldango played a copy of Community Center. What placement do you think this list got?
256.
Out of the 400 people in day 2.
512.
It's got 76th place, top 128 list. Did better than me. Showed 76th place. Real. I forget exactly his name. I think it was Real. And actually talked to this person at the tournament. Right, at the end of the last round, basically. It was his first regional playing. He said, hey, I played a Community Center. He said, hey, I basically knew that Picnic Basket was better, but I kind of wanted a second stadium. And my friend said it'd be so funny if you played Community Center and got a day 2 entry with it. And he did. So shout out Real for that.
First day 2 entry?
Yo, he Real for that.
It has won before in the Ogre Pond Noivern deck back in Baltimore.
He Real for that.
So pull Community Center. Now, unfortunately, I talked to Real. He said this did backfire. He thought it would be good into Jelly Guardy to heal some damage.
I knew you said something somewhere about this.
Yeah, but basically, his opponent, who played a supporter card that turn, was able to heal 10 damage off of their Screamtail to then attach another energy to get to 130 damage to snipe a Goldango off the bench to lose the game. But
yikes. Big yikes.
Real got to meme a little bit playing the Community Center as a stadium. So shout out Real. And actually, while we're in this page of Goldango entries around 76th place, there are a couple other Goldango entries around here to point out. We have at 72nd place, right above it, Jack Saunders, with bringing back the Rev of Room Goldango, popularized by Daniel Magza, and actually included a Psyduck here. Included a Psyduck helping to the Dusknoirs and Charizard. So pretty cool inclusion there.
He said, screw your rocks, bro.
Exactly. And right above that at 68th place, Thomas Dewsbury with the probably silliest Goldango, the Quad Watchtower Goldango. So somehow made room to play 4 Team Rocket's Watchtower in their Goldango Lunatone deck to really go and hate down on this colorless Heller's abilities.
I'm not losing to Zard.
I mean, you see it. So, in a way, it's a good neutral stadium in a sense. So I just think it's funny that, so often you just open it and say, oh, they have the turn watchtower. Oh, I have my areas here. Oh, they have a second watchtower. That's weird. I guess I'll bump it. And then, the third one is wait, what? And then they're superior away their 4th one to kill you for game. It's like, how do we get here? So,
all right. Anything else that made day 2? Let's see. Let's take a look at this Toxtricity box. Why don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got I got the Brute Bonnet. Okay. Yeah, what is this?
Good old Tox box. Strike the Seeker.
What? All right.
The bench, you can snipe it for 20 times the damage counter.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Got the unfair stamp.
It's gonna be good in Rockets.
Yeah, he only has
Bucks.
That has a couple of attackers.
Let's see. Anything else to speak? Venusaur?
Only one Venusaur in day 2.
Jungle Dumping, top 256.
Yo, scoop up Cyclone. Let's
Sir,
go.
let's go.
Love to see it.
Is this like
Ready
a
to
huge buff from Pokepad, or usually is for like? Can you go like Pokepad Vessel like better than you can go bug catching?
You probably still have to play bug catching set just because like it's too good. But I could see you playing. Good. I mean, I could see you playing Pokepad, some counts of it. But also, like, but you still want to be able to find like Ogerpon and Venusaur. It's kind of a tricky spot, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can cut nest balls for Pokepads and just say you'll find.
Oh, you want Fez?
You got Ultra Ball.
Maybe.
Ultra Ball, it's fun. All right, talking about Slowking already. We got some Joltik boxes.
Yeah, Hey, people are always gonna play Joltik box.
Oh, with a Magaton. Yep. Oh, I like that a lot.
Heavy baton inclusion too. Haven't seen that in a while.
Let's go.
Maybe still a little too much jamming tower around for that, or like monkey stuff. But hey, probably better than the turbo matchups.
Yeah.
Actually, in the turbo matchups and the big 2 prize matchups, you just want to shove Pikachu anyways. So like, I don't know. Hey, they did better than me, so I got nothing to say.
They did better than you. We got Conkliner.
Love to see
Massey
some good conk.
With the 1/1 Pidgeot, okay. And the premium power pro.
Yeah, gotta get the extra damage in the Guardy, you know.
Oh wait, that I forgot premium power.
Chill about premium power, Kieran. There's no Kieran. Just kidding.
Yeah,
we don't need Kieran. You got
Mochi,
Gravity Mountain,
power.
And Mochi.
Mountain.
Yeah,
Mochi.
All right. Here's the one Lopunny Dusknoir. Main day 2. Look at all these guys, bro.
Y'all believe in.
Look at all these guys.
Unfortunate run for Lopunny Dusknoir. Pretty fun deck. Oh, I guess he did, yeah. Huh.
Lost or tied
Klefki.
last round.
Yeah.
Well, they're always playing Klefki.
Yeah.
They're not always playing stadiums. Jamie Tower's a little interesting there. So
he lost his last round.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah. It's Goldingo.
Dingus.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Dingus.
Dingus do dingus things.
All right. Let's move on to Crispin'S Corner. Max, why don't you intro the segment and tell people what we do in Crispin'S Corner?
Yeah, so how Crispin'S Corner works is we talk a lot about all these lists that make day 2, but we like to also go into the depths of day 1 and randomly pair up 2 decks that didn't quite get their spotlight shine. Now with the power of Limit Labs, we can show off these decks. So we're going to randomize 2 decks that did not make day 2, pit them up against each other, and we'll talk about who would win in a theoretical matchup in between these. So, Eric is going through some of the randomization right now, pulling up some of these decks, and we'll hop right into it. 2279.
2279. Thank you, Maddox. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. Got 901 versus 853. 853 versus 901.
Brian Ha with some Goldango rocks. There's 901, the Dragon Ball Dusknoir, an all-time matchup.
Okay, just give me a second to get my computer to put it side by side for us. All right. You guys see both the lists? No, because it's sharing that thing and not the right thing. Uno momento, por favor.
All good. Parker, when you think about this matchup, Dango versus Dragapult, what's the main things you're looking for to see like what can swing the matchup?
So I do see the young picnic basket in here. I'm liking that. I can't see the Dragapult list, but
the big thing for me there is like jamming tower, like making sure we have good counts of jamming towers, or also understanding like, do we have the right counts of, are we playing any of those techs, right? Karis played the Moltres. Like, do we have any Moltres package? Do we play like Toad Scroll? There's like a bunch of, neat things that Dragapults are throwing in to like work on this matchup. So, in general, if I'm looking for like the jamming tower counts and the other disruptions, candies, and we see the decks right here. So, Andrew and the Dragapult Dusknoir opted for the Watchtower over a copy of jamming tower. A little sus when you play a Blood Moon or Saluna, but
little sus.
Might have worked out for them. But again, we do see Brian, like you said, Parker, with the young picnic basket. Again, a big part to help swing the matchup. Double Artisan, pretty clean. There's the 50 HP Gimme Ghoul, a nice little consistency boost, but a liability in this matchup.
The guy sticks.
Parker, what do y'all think? Do you think there's enough here for Goldango to keep the matchup chalk, or has Andrew got the spice with the Watchtower to close the gap?
Watchtower doesn't do nothing.
It shuts
But-
off Hops Cramorant's not ability.
Nah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Anyways, I mean, as long as he doesn't like open Mega Mawile, I think Goldango just list wise probably has it like on the
Got
right,
energy
just
and
super
Lana's
standard.
egg, so that's good.
Yeah, I got the Lanas, so you don't lose the Badoo. I mean, the Dragapult is just pretty standard, except for it just plays Watchtower instead of 2 jamming guys.
You got 4
Oh.
copies of Iono though. You never know.
I love Iono. I do. love me some
Goldango's, I think, takes it though. I agree.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it just does. If you just find Picnic Basket after they attack like once, like you just
All right, we need some spiciness on the
Yeah,
next one.
Real quick, I did looking at both these players. Brian was 1-0 against the Dragapults that he played, and Andrew was 1-1-2. Wait, 1-1-2 against 1-2-1 against Goldango. So maybe not quite enough.
and you
Alright.
play
Data
4
wise.
Dangos.
Next
Yeah.
up, we got 2201 Dragapult 03
Vesper
drop
Johnson.
versus 717. Okay, are you gonna go to it? Thank you, Noah. Got Charizard Noctowl.
Versus a straight Dragapult, it appears.
It does appear to be a straight Dragapult. Let's see what it is. Here we go. Oh, we got
Ooh.
Dragapult Toadstool Jelly. What?
Dragapult Jelly.
Look at the Charizard list with Flareon though. Okay.
Oh, we got a pile off
Man.
right now. This is
Alright.
what Crispin'S Corner is here
Yes,
for.
sir. This is what we
Okay. All right,
live
so
for.
let's set the stage, and you guys kind of do some, thinking. On the left, we got Dragapult with a 1-1 Jellicent line and a 1-1 Toadscroll line. To show off those pesky Night Stretchers and superior energy retrievals. And just item lock with a little more damage in the active. We have 4 copies of Lilies, 4 copies of Iono, 4 Boss, and 2 Dawn, 1 Hilda, 1 Turo. Has a copy of Jamming Tower, Neo Up Energies, A-Spec, so try to, typically Dragapult player style. On the right, we got Charizard Noctowl, but we got the EV, 1-1 Pidgeot, the Ditto, the 1 Flareon for the EV, 1-1-1 Dusknoir. This is a Tord pile on the right here. Terrapagos, Water Pond, 3 Dawn, 2 Boss, 2 Iono, 1 Hilda. Got the Briar. And if you weren't expecting it, they got the 1 copy of Crispin in their list with 5 Fire, 1 Lightning, so they can Carnelian, a Jet Energy, and a 1 Water Energy. Chose the A-Spec of Crystal because that will Crispin plus, Crispin will give them early Water Pond. Guys, what do you guys think about this matchup? Parker, give us a rundown first.
I mean, 3 Dawns, like that seems a little scary. Like,
Have you heard of Jewel Seeker?
yeah, but like, what if you don't? I don't know. You don't have
You don't open
Terra
fan rotom.
basic.
You always open fan rotom. Come
Not-
on, you
not
got
always.
Ditto.
We got 3 Poffin, we got a 4th Poffin, 3 Nest Ball, 1 Ultra Ball. We always get there,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but like, I don't know. You go first, you miss fan rotom, you get Badoo. Boom.
Well,
It's
stop.
yeah.
Right, every match of Crispin'S Corner decks operate. So right, I
Yeah,
mean,
but
like,
every
yeah.
matchup they draw well. Okay.
I think it's a cool. I think this is a cool list. I mean,
in that case, I think I might have to give it to Noctowl.
Yeah, I mean, it seems kind of scary with a Water Pond.
Charizard. Yeah, Water Pond. Like you eventually can set up a Dusknoir, like kill Toadscroll, Charizard, a Jellicent, if that's the way they go. Or like you can just go and one shot the Dragapult, which they actually can't one shot you back. Which like you can't just go Dusknoir.
Yeah, they don't have the
Phantom
Dusknoir.
Dive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maddox, what do
Yeah,
you
I
think?
yeah, I think again the one thing Charizard Noctowl is held back a little bit by. I do think Charizard Noctowl does get the early pressure because they have some like the low maintenance attackers. Right, you can even go into like an early Flareon to power up Ogerpon and like keep the pressure on type of thing. I think these Dragapult lists with the Jelly package and the Toad Scroll, like you're only playing one Badoo, and if you're going in with Frillish, right, you need to have Latias specifically so you can actually do the item lock. So while I agree, like Iono item locks can be like effective against the Charizard player early, you have a little bit of a harder time getting there. To me, it seems really like a timing question, right? Like is Dragapult able to establish item lock early and like limit Charizard enough and like keep it trapped? Or is Charizard just able to go and get all the pieces, establish an early Flareon, and just like continue the pressure and really leave Dragapult like nothing to do
really
about
see
it.
like
So,
the early Water Pond being the problem in this matchup. That's what I see.
It could be, but like also at the same time they go like Water Pond, and then they go like, okay, Iono Frillish or something.
Sure.
Like
Maybe.
yeah, I mean that's why I almost think like you're going like well, I mean, I guess if you have knocked out, if you have Hoot Hoot Sound, maybe it's okay. I do think the Jet Energy is like a pretty nice inclusion here too, right? Like,
yeah.
because then like you're able to go Hilda for a piece plus the Jet for like extra mobility to get your like Flareon back or the Wellspring back. So there's a couple little cool pieces here. I mean, honestly, I'm liking Charizard. I mean, it feels weird to say like Dragapult's unfavored in Charizard, but I just worry about like the early pressure that you have from Wellspring. I mean, and it's just a question like, can Dragapult like can they buy enough time to actually get a Phantom Dive off? If they do, I think they're in pretty good shape. But like until they do, like I think Noah has a chance to just kind of like continue the aggressiveness.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Noah also. Cool list.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to our next one. Let's see.
Definitely two fine chefs there.
They were two fine chefs. Yeah, I agree. 1225. 1225 versus 1944. 1225 versus 1944. 1225. Got Justin. We got a Goldango Mirror.
Goldango Mirror. Classic. Right. This is what most people in Toronto had to do anyways. So it's fitting. It's fitting again. It's shown here.
Internet is buffering, bro. What the heck?
Yeah, I had the same thing happen on my side too. I think a lot of people. I think it's not down. It's just taking a little bit.
Oh no!
Try to refresh it. Yeah.
No,
I was having the same issue on my side. I found if you click
I'll get off of Limitless so there's more bandwidth.
I'm sorry. What were you
Eric, if you go to the placement and click the button as opposed to like a new tab click, I found it was working better for me.
Click this?
Yes, yeah. I found it loaded right away, and when you go to a new tab, it had issues.
Okay, but one of them has to go to a new tab no matter what.
But then we have to open the standings page again. That's all I mean. That's what I found worked for me.
Okay. I'm not following. Okay.
I saw Justin So's list that we pointed out there.
And then 1944.
And Justin So's list did have the Premium Power Pro Vit Band combo. So that's going to be a big part here. It's really just going to be like, what does our other Goldango list have as options? So go to Jimmy Q's list.
Sorry about that, folks.
I think I just saw an interesting card in Jimmy's list that might be a big swing part in this matchup.
Yo, Eerie,
Jimmy playing a copy of Eerie as an option. So
that's gonna hit late game. That's gonna hurt. There's no Iona on the left side either.
Wins the matchup basically, doesn't it?
I mean, bro, I think 1-3 draw. He probably didn't hit any dangos. I hit one and lost. He's like, I'm out of here.
Well, maybe Shadow played two.
Shadow right? Main.
Shadow Main.
Dude, not the Eerie, bro.
A little Eerie inclusion. Kind of cool to see. I mean, in the Petrol, a little extra consistency for your early, like, Buddy Poffin. So
I guess if you know Erie's coming, like, Lopunny can do some work.
Looks like Jimmy's, like, going more all in on the Dango side. Justin's playing more for like the early game Solrock Lunatone kind of package, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is interesting, actually.
Yeah, I mean, Justin has the advantage with the Premium Power Pro Vit Band or in the early game to be able to go aggressive. And also, like, as a counterplay to the Eerie, does have the Lopunny. But, of course, putting the Lopunny down does make it liable to a boss KO from, like, a Solrock. So, or if you Evo into it, then you're liable to take 3. So you can't really use it, like, clean up the game. I think it's really like if Justin needs to try to get enough of an advantage early with the Vit Band and the Premium Power and the Soul Rock to like take a few prizes and be able to use that to survive your SCRs getting slightly
Yeah.
eerie.
That's crazy though. I haven't seen Yuri and Goldangos in a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's an option that's out there. I know that Savant Ivanov is playing like the Erica's Invitation. I love Eri and Erica's Invitation is like, well, one, they're next to each other when I sort my supporters, but also they're but like they're both like the control-y cards that I think of. But one in this case, the very like aggressive option, and the other one's like, oh, Erica's, yeah, I'm just trying to get that 3 prize out of your hand and knock it out.
I think I have to give this to Jimmy. A well-timed Erie, snipe some stuff. Go pretty good.
Sorry, Justin. It's just hard to beat a well-timed Erie.
Well-timed Erie. Battle of Canada, man. Sad.
Asians in Canada too.
Bro, stop. All right, last one, 1953. All right, let me get to, is it gonna reload? Let's see, 1953. Okay, we got Cynthia's Garchomp.
Let's go.
There we go.
Okay, we got Cynthia's Garchomp versus... Dude, random generator's not working either? What the heck?
Someone turned the mic
One
on your house.
For... Sorry, I was trying to find the page that I had. There we go. What's the number? 496?
496.
Yep.
Dude, everything's struggling. 496. Okay, Jacob, Dragapult Dusknoir versus Garchomp. What do we got?
Love to see some Garchomp action out here.
All right, on the left for the Garchomp, very similar list what we we're looking at before.
Yeah,
2 Force Vitality, so that way he can get Toad Scroll into play. 3/2 of Cynthia's Roserade, and has a 4/4/3 of the Garchomp. Pretty standard list on the left. Looking on the right, looks like a pretty standard Dragapult Dusknoir. This looks really close to like Cyrus's list, Karis's list.
Well, real quick, I mean, Jacob, the big piece here is it's only a 2/1/1 Dusknoir. A lot of them have been playing 2/2/2, and the 2 candies is the big standout here as well.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Most
yeah.
of what Ford has been playing with, like, you know, his candy options. So a little more explosive potential now. Like, you know, 2 candies, it's nice to be able to cheat things into play quicker, but the Dusclops is like so good in this deck because a lot of times you want Dusclops as opposed to Dusknoir because you don't want to take a knockout, right? Like you can't do a play where you'll counter catch your KO 2 Ralts with a Dusknoir. You have to use a Dusclops for it, basically. So a little interesting to see here versus Pavithrin with the Cynthia's Garchomp.
Oh crap! I see a problem.
What do you see? What do you see?
If they set up Toad Scroll, Dusknoirs are never coming back, and neither are Energies.
It's true, yeah. So that's a little bit of a backdoor case. I remember I was talking to the Zoroark play earlier this weekend, and they basically said, "Hey, my opponent only played 2 Dragapults, and they like Ultra Balled 1, and I KO'd 1." But I Toad Scroll up, say to like take a turn like to boss KO that just because they needed a way to recover their stuff. So definitely some backdoor win cons there. Parker, I mean, you're the Garchomp enjoyer. Like, how are you battling into Dragapult Dusknoir, and you think that this Garchomp list has what it takes?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Like pretty much, you gotta just build your cloaks, boss, draw, and then eventually you'll get to a point in the game where they either have to like have Jamming Tower, Dusknoir, and Phantom Dive to like take out a Garchomp, and at that point, if they don't, you just go, here's a Spiritomb for like 700 damage. But I don't know. Like it is still tough. It's easier said than done, obviously.
I feel like the Dragapult can pull it off pretty easily, actually, with the rare candies.
Well, is the Gabite doing enough work to get your board set up? And real quick on the math, I mean, the Cynthia's Garchomp, right? It hits 260. If you have 2 Roserade, you're hitting the 320. And you also have Premium Power Pro as a way to one-time hit 320 if you only have 1 Roserade down, right?
Yeah, it's not that hard to one-shot a Dragapult.
Okay.
So you basically have to like take
couple turns of setup.
You have to take 2 prizes. So you have to be at like 4. And you just like Garchomp and then Spiritomb, ideally.
Yeah, I mean, built-in consistency with the Garchomp's attack, built-in engine with Gabite. We're playing the 2 copies of the Evo. I think as long as you get 1 Gabite in the play, I'm feeling pretty comfortable with the Garchomp side here.
Are you?
Just to get rolling. I'm a little worried about like this, I mean the candy, you miss some consistency. You really need to lean on the Dusknoir here, I think, to get that like rush damage into play.
Yeah.
With only 2 stretcher and like the 2/1/1, like you're reliant on like having all those pieces available. And like, I mean, you almost need to go like, it's I mean, you need the stretcher candy like combo a good bit. So that's what worries me a little bit there. Obviously, like there's some late game potential. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you opt for the Toad Scroll now. The Garchomp probably does have the air balloon, which I do like as a nice little way to like pivot the Toad Scroll, which is a liability otherwise.
And Prime Catcher,
but like no way to find it yet. Oh, and Prime Catcher too. Yeah, good call. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I haven't played this matchup ever. I mean, Parker, you think Garchomp's out of here, or it's Dragapult's world and we're just living in it?
I think in a perfect world, like Garchomp probably gets it, but obviously we don't live in a perfect world.
We do here in Crispin's Corner, though.
Parker's feeling his own experience with Garchomp, getting bullied by Pulse on live. It's okay, man.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for Crispin's Corner. Who's your cook of the week, Maddox? What deck do you think
cook of the week
cooking the most?
We saw a lot of cool things. I mean, for me, it's got to be the Charizard Noctowl with the Flareon with the Wellspring. I mean, just like we saw a little bit of rumblings of like the Crystal for the Wellspring, but this is like a completely different piece with the Flareon and some other pieces there. So that's it for me. Even though their opponent Dragapult Jelly, like we love
Dragapult Jelly was kind of cool too. Yeah,
we love to see a little bit of spice.
Parker, what about you? Who's your chef of the week?
It's got to be the same one. I mean, like we saw back in the day where that was like actually kind of an archetype, like the Charizard with the ogre paws, like
not
the cornerstone.
Not
with Flareon, but with the cornerstone. And I mean, I played it at locals. Like,
all right,
it like I don't know. It was interesting.
I'm also gonna give it to Noah Riffin. So shout out Noah, congratulations! You are this week's chef. Take your hat and put it on and take it to locals and say, I am Crispin's Corner Chef of the Week on Beach Square Podcast.
And Noah played Crispin, so works out.
And while you're there, make sure you press like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks, everyone, for listening to this week's episode of the Beach Square Podcast. That's going to do it for this week. Max, good luck down in Mexico. We'll be rooting for you. Bring back a win. Everyone else, if you're going, over to Europe or you're going to Merida, good luck to you guys. But we'll be back next week to break it all down and talk a little about Ascended Heroes, and it's coming up. Until next time, we'll see you later.
See ya.